I don't know how to start this, but you know. Right, ready?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the DLD Why Can't You See Me podcast. Okay, that's snip.
Yeah, but if we make mistakes and we're silly and we're laughing, it just shows that we're everyday normal people.
Okay, let's restart.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the DLD Why Can't You See Me podcast. Today we have a very special guest. They're sensational. They're incredible. The legend, Sophie Franks.
Hello.
Hiya. You are the OG of the adult DLD activists. You're my favourite.
Well, thank you.
And then, today host, I'm your host. I am called Shelby. Yeah. Why is it not? Okay, that's wrong. This is all backwards, isn't it? I should have gone me first, then you, but oh well. Anyway. Right. So to start with, I would like to ask you some questions. So the first question is, tell us a little about yourself and your relation to DLD.
I live in West Sussex. Live with my partner Jenny and her 3 children. I work with children. I work on the minibuses that take special educational needs children to school, and then also I get off 3 times a week at the school and work as bank staff, so cover staff that are off ill, which I really enjoy. And then we take them home again at the end of the day. I was diagnosed with DLD when I was 3 years old, when my parents noticed I wasn't talking. So getting a diagnosis at 3, it didn't really bother me because I was quite young and I wouldn't know what it meant anyway. But yeah, so yeah.
Okay. What are the biggest misconceptions of DLD?
I think the biggest misconceptions of DLD is not many people know about it. People know about autism, and actually autism and dyslexia and things like that. But actually, DLD is more common than those other disabilities. Misconsumption can sometimes people can judge you for having a disability. It doesn't affect your intelligence. Yeah, so you're capable of still doing things.
Totally agree. Okay. What was your experience like at school?
School was fine because I was in a specialised school in Surrey. It was called Morehouse School, and it was a residential school. I was there for 8 years. And also before that, I was in special education, which was in language units and special nurseries. Sorry, just looking at my notes. Yes, so school was actually okay for me because I had a lot of support. I had speech and language therapy, and all my friends around me, we all had similar disabilities, so we could all be there for each other.
This sounds very positive. I would really want to go and see the Morehouse School. Yeah, because I have heard such positive things about them.
Yeah.
What was your so your education was school and education was okay. What I know you spoke a little bit about work already. What are the challenges at work?
Well, when I first started working, I always used to hide my DLD and didn't tell anyone because I thought I won't get employed if I have a disability. And there was always that bit at the bottom, do you have a disability? And I think my parents were just protecting me, but they just used to tell me to tick that I didn't have one. But actually, in the long run, it got me into some times what I found a bit hard. So I think things have changed nowadays where you can be more honest and people can understand and help you. So before I'd get pulled in from bosses and things and say that I'm not working to the ability that I should, my concentration and my paperwork and all that. So yeah, then I would kind of tell them because I'd just break down in tears and then I'd end up telling them. But over the recent years, my last full-time job, I told where I worked, which they were happy to help me and support me, but there was a lot of staff there that just didn't really talk to me, complained about me all the time, and I just felt that I didn't have the right support from all the staff. I was, and yeah, in the end I left, but I'm much happier now what I'm doing.
I know with with work it can be challenging. I am fortunate that the job I'm in at the moment are really supportive, and I know that's not always the case. And I think there needs to be a lot more support in like all professions or what all the different workforces like services have all that awareness of DLD, the understanding and how to support those.
Yeah.
And I know we all this I hate saying this day and age, but we are going in the right direction, and it is a more accepting and positive. We just need that extra sort of push and help to go
Yeah.
further. If that makes sense.
But there's also a lot of people out there still need to understand, not discriminate and make someone with a disability feel they're not good enough. There needs a lot of change there.
I agree. I like wearing the sunflower.
Oh yeah.
Lanyard. I can't even. Yanyard. Yanyard.
Lanyard.
Yeah, I love wearing my sunflower one. So yeah, I'm more confident out and about wearing that.
Maybe I should wear mine a bit more because I don't really.
Because then I don't feel like because they're starting to be more well known for all the hidden disabilities. So
Yeah.
that just gives me like remove some of that anxiety I always had before, like not wearing it, or if you're wanting to ask for help in the shop.
Do people ever ask you what your disability is? Because sometimes it's a bit hard for that person to see it on the card, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I need to actually get the DLD one for it. My one is several different ones as well.
Yeah, I need to change mine to dyslexia because, as you well know, I've been recently been diagnosed with dyslexia, so I need one that says language disorder and dyslexia.
So we got that both in common, the DLD
and
dyslexia. But it's not strange, but like I was diagnosed with dyslexia first towards school, and then didn't get help until uni properly, and then only just recently got the DLD, like 3 years now, DLD. And now you had DLD quite young, and then you're recently just now getting the
I think maybe my language skills were more apparent because I wasn't really understanding or communicating at 3. But I'm surprised I was diagnosed with it back then in the 80s. Make myself feel old, sound old, but because you think there'd be less awareness back then. But yeah, I did. I got diagnosed with a language. They called it language impairment or language problem. So yeah.
I think when they said about the DLD, at first they wasn't sure to say that because of the research, or they wasn't sure. I think back then they would say it was separate, but they recently are more recent research is more understanding that they do go together, or like
Yeah.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah, because I've just been also diagnosed with hypermobility, and also they say that that can tie in with neurodiverse, which I didn't really know. So yeah, just by the physio. So yeah,
It's a whole umbrella. I'm sure like most people will have a little bit, not a little bit, it sounds awful, a little bit of everything, but like there's a lot. There's like if someone has one thing, they might have
yeah,
another thing. It's more, it's not just no, you have this, it's just that. It's kind of like, as they say, the umbrella terms, like all different needs
yeah.
and that. So it's just looking and supporting those. I was thinking sensory as well, because sensory
Oh yeah,
in everything,
yeah.
and DLD people. Yeah. Now I just forgot my train of thought.
Oh, you asked a school question.
We've done well.
Daily,
Oh, yep. Okay. Daily challenges of
yeah.
living with the DLD.
My daily challenges are things like understanding certain words, keeping up with conversations, remembering what I've said and what I've been told, and remembering certain tasks. Yeah, so just my remembering is a bad one for me. Maybe pronouncing what different words as well. Yeah, just keeping up with things really. Concentration, attention, things like that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just like nodding, like, I'm agreeing. I'm not laughing because of that. I'm just,
I know you're not.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I can relate to them.
Yeah.
It's difficult because I feel like it's hard when it's invisible, because they know that people might just prejudge or not actually see that. And I think that's another conversation people have, or like the topic or conversation is when they say masking or camouflaging. Why can't I
Yeah.
say that? Camouflaging, where I feel like I would be, I was probably was a bit like that, or there's some parts I sort of hide, or I don't think you would know, like someone would strongly know unless I said something, or if I'm struggling with my words, then obviously I'm sorry. And that. So
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
you a bit the same? I know you said that.
Oh yeah, word finding. Finding my words. Words I want to use. Yeah, just because I'm with people today that I don't usually work with because I'm doing bank work in a school, and I get more nervous. So I get more nervous, and then I can't find my words even more. And then I didn't tell the people today that I've got DLD, but I don't want people thinking I'm weird. But then I don't want to think, oh, she's drawing attention to herself to say, oh, I've got a disability like this. It's a bit hard to get the medium. I don't know if I'll be working with them again or not. So I could tell them once and then not see them. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like you get more comfortable with the people that you know and they know you, And then when you meet new people, yeah, it's definitely a bit nerve-wracking, I'd say.
Yeah.
And difficult. Yeah. What's next? Okay, so although we have these difficulties, is there any positives or strengths to have to of having DLD? So it's not all doom and gloom. Doom and gloom? Gloom.
Gloom.
No.
People always say that I have a really good long-term memory, so I remember things that other people don't remember, like from years ago, and I'll go, oh, do you remember when we did such and such? And I'll go, God, no, I don't remember that. Or like, oh yeah, you're right, but I would never remembered that all those years back like this. So that's quite, I don't know, probably quite a good thing. Uh, Positives are having friends and families that help and support me, and a partner. And positives is raising awareness to DLD, to tell everyone what it means. Yeah.
Sorry, when you was talking about the memory, I was straight away, yes. It made me think of a conversation that I had with my family where I was telling this story, and my stepsister, she said to me, I can't believe you, something along the lines of, I can't believe you remembered that, but you can't remember last week or what you like that. And I'm like, it's so, because it's so true. I might be like, I think because we're, well, I'm definitely visual. Are you visual as well?
Very much so, yeah.
So if you like see something or like a picture, or I always rely on the sensory sometimes to try and remember. But then sometimes when people's telling you a memory, I'd be like, I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't remember until they start talking a bit more about it, and then I build that picture up and like, yeah, I can remember it now, sort of thing.
Yeah, this short-term memory is terrible, but
yeah, it goes in and then it goes out.
Yeah, true.
Oh, the amount of times I have burnt myself cooking. Oh, I can't. Or could burn things cooking. I forget to put something on, or like, yeah. So all the time.
I put Alexa. I ask Alexa. Alexa. Oh, don't ask her. It's over there. Set a timer for 20 minutes, and then alarm goes off, and then I remember to go and get it out. But otherwise, I think I'd forget as well.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
What advice would you say to parents or families with someone they love with DLD?
To get help your child needs as soon as possible, and that DLD doesn't affect your intelligence. That you all have a few struggles on the way, but there's always strategies to make things easier, and just make sure that they're getting the good support at school, and just make so all the staff know. And it's not a terrible thing.
Wow.
We do have struggles, but we get through them.
There will be obviously the bad days, but that will take away like the good days will take away the bad days, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you learn from it as well. You learn from the bad days, I suppose. Yeah.
What can I do? What can help?
Yeah.
We'll try on.
And I have had some bad days, and in the past I've found no way out apart from leaving like a workplace or something, and that's a shame. But then you go and find another workplace that's really understanding and nice, which I'm in at the moment. So
yeah, you just want to hold on. You want to hold on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. Okay. What advice would you give to professionals supporting DLD?
That all professionals have knowledge and training on DLD across all schools and nurseries. So people have training on autism and dyslexia. They need to have proper training on DLD, so they can help the child.
So like the teachers, so they'll be
Yeah.
able to help teaching staff.
Yeah, TAs. Yeah.
Teachers. The whole school approach, I would say, whole school knowledge.
Definitely.
And then people like in the wider communities as well.
Yeah.
A lot of public support, awareness. Okay. Those with DLD are more likely to internalize their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Has DLD impacted your mental health?
Yes, it has. I mentioned this earlier. I'm just reading off here so I remember what to say. I've kept my feelings and thoughts to myself for many years and not told many people about my DLD. I have just kept quiet as I haven't wanted people to judge me. I have become more open over the years, but it still has caused problems for me. I have had bullying in the workplace, which has knocked my confidence a lot, but I enjoy my work now, and it has caused anxiety having DLD, because you always think you're not good enough. You can't do all the things that someone else can do, maybe paperwork and things like that. So it brings you down. But yeah, I've been counselling and things like that, and I'm on medication for my anxiety, which helps. But yeah, I'm okay.
Well, I think mental health is important for everyone, especially those with DLD, because it is difficult to recognize our feelings or how our body is feeling, as well as like situations, bad experiences, they can also impact them all. Yeah, I think there should be more support for adults of DLD, and more looking into more how it affects our mental health, the anxiety, depression, or some people might show it display behavior, because it's not it's not nothing shameful for asking for help or needing help. Everyone needs help. As they say, it's okay to not to be okay. I have had throughout I have had throughout my life about, sorry, I can just see the 10 minutes warning. Nope. I can't remember what I said now.
Something about getting help.
Yeah. So I've had support, and I think people with DLD needs continuous support throughout their lives. And
definitely,
if they are feeling any way, do not bottle up their emotions. Talk to a friend, talk to your family, or reach out and find services you can go to. I have been to Health in Mind counselling. I did CBT, so there is other ones, and you just tell them your needs and they can support you, like with the DLD. Do you have any strategies or support that helps your DLD?
My strategies are tell people your strategies when, and then hopefully people will understand what I find hard. Yeah, I don't know if I said that a bit wrong there, but what I meant to say was tell people you have DLD and then they understand you more, hopefully. I write down things. I have whiteboard in the kitchen, so I've written things on it today to remember, like the meeting today, because I did forget once or twice. Not last time, but the time before. I think I forgot.
It's fine. I'm like that. It's fine.
Obviously, that day it didn't work. My strategy. I use I use my iPhone to remind me things pop up. And I ask Alexa to remind me things.
A good
Because
one.
I will just forget.
Mm.
I look up if I don't know certain words. I look on Google, see what they mean, or I just ask people what they mean. But if you don't know someone, it's a bit embarrassing asking them what does that mean, because I'll be like, someone said that to me recently. You don't know what that means, and I was like, no, sorry, like
Yeah.
this. But yeah, just ask the person to explain it better.
I'm like that, especially if I'm okay if I know someone and I'd be like, what does that mean? Like, I'm just, yeah, just a thing. I'm always like, what? But if it's someone new, I'm just like, I do the good old look, you know, when you're like,
Yeah.
And then at home, you're thinking by the time I get home or by the time I try to ask someone, what does that word mean? I would forget the word.
Oh God, I do. Yeah. Or like they'd be talking to me and then like my mind thinks about something else. They're telling me a story that's important to them. Then I see something, I don't know, on the street, and then I just think about something else. And then they go and then they ask me a question. I'm like, what did you? Then they must think I'm really rude or something, but I can't help it. I just my concentration.
No. Fine. Okay. Okay. You're the DLD OG. What are your achievements or something that you're most proud of?
Uh, what I'm proud of. I stood up in the House of Commons in front of lots of professionals, and I did a speech about having DLD, and it was in front of John Bercow. It was a very posh event, very nice. And then raising awareness of DLD, like podcasts like today.
Yeah.
Being in videos and things like that at Fort Raddled.
I was thinking of when you just said that, using the illustration one, the adults one.
Oh yeah, being
With
involved in
Lily done it.
yeah, Lily did that one. Yeah, just being involved in all the videos.
I think you're forgetting one really big one, because I know, because what did we do this year?
Oh yeah, I did write that on my list actually.
Oh,
We went up to Birmingham and we went to the NAPLIC conference and we both stood up and did a speech.
Yeah,
about DLD and adulthood.
Yeah, and sorry, I was getting excited then, and we got a standing ovation.
Yeah, we got a standing ovation
For me,
yeah,
and Damien. So yeah, if
yeah,
people
that went
haven't
really
seen
well.
it, they can go on Naplik, and you can see the recording.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't remember. It just felt like a blur. I know we were so nervous for both. I'm so nervous, but we done it. And
I was emotional. I watched it on Naplik, and they cut out my emotional bits, so I'm
What
quite
did they?
pleased. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but your story, but yeah, it's all right. I loved your speech. I loved that it was like everyone had their own little speeches, and hearing your
Yeah.
story and your impact, because you have had a massive impact, I would say, for the DLD community, all the things that you have done, you have achieved, and yeah. So thank you for starting the way, paving the way for everyone.
Maybe.
Maybe, yes, you definitely.
Yeah.
And then more, I was gonna ask, I don't know if I'm about to skip a question. Oh yeah, I was gonna skip. No, that's it. Do you have any upcoming or future plans like for the next DLD Awareness Day? And that is
Well, October I've forgotten the date.
Friday, the 20th of October is the next
Yeah.
International DLD Day, where this year's theme is DLD all around the world.
All around the world.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think a few of us are trying to meet up in Brighton to see if Brighton Pier will light up. I think they are going to light it up. They said they are. I'm going to see if any other well-known destinations in Brighton will light up. And I think we're just going to get together, have a DLD gathering. Hopefully that will still go ahead. Apart from that, I'm doing another podcast actually. I've been asked to do it, but I haven't. Courtney Norbury, the professor, contacted me, or not. I don't think it's her doing it, but someone else is. I've not heard from them in a while, but I'm sure they'll be in contact soon about it. So yeah, I'm doing that as well.
Wow, they still sound very positive.
Yeah, you thought people would be bored of me by now, wouldn't you?
That's what I feel like. Honestly, that's every video. How many more videos do I have to? No, I'm about to say, I like bombard them with everything. I think it's really good that we're still using our voices together, and trying to make a change for the next generation, or like for children, so they don't have to experience what we experience, and hopefully a more better and brighter future for everyone.
Yeah.
So I have that lovely little speech then, just came out flowing, then I stopped and I'm like, what I forgot what I was going to say
Next question.
We can do next question.
Awareness. People to know what awareness, about awareness.
What do you want to change?
That more people know about DLD, because it's really hard to get personal independent payments for PIP for adults who have DLD, because some adults struggle at work and can't work full time because of mental health issues. So that'd be really good if that could help people with DLD, so they don't feel so pressured to work all the hours under the sun and stuff. So yeah. And some people, so then that lets you have a bus pass, free bus pass, and some people with DLD like me find it hard to learn to drive. They're not good at remembering, so the bus pass for me is really helpful. But yeah, just when I say I have DLD, they'll say I know what that is.
We are all dreaming of that day. We're like, please.
Yeah. Hopefully one day it will happen.
We made it. I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I get that. We said about driving. I was terrible. It took me 4 times to do the theory, and it took me on my 3rd test, that's when I passed. So it took me 3 times, and I just got that. But yeah, I'm still. My family would say I'm not that good at driving. I like to reverse into things. I got a nice car. Yeah. Why is it that the car before I had this old car, nice car, but old, did not do anything with it. Soon as I get this nice little newer version, like newer car, and that, I think it was either the day or the day after, I was reversing, and where my dad lives, there's like a garage, and it's quite tight. And if you go in, you have to obviously do a turn, like 3-point turn. And I was trying to do that, and it was taking like 5. But this is he was going, "Come on, you got enough room. Come on," like this, yeah. And I'm like, reversing back. Then he went, "Stop!" And then all you heard was me go that like delay, and I went smack, and I hit the post, and I dented.
Oh my goodness. You're probably more nervous and you're trying to be even more careful, but being too careful, and then your mind goes and then you reverse into something.
I know you can't say, "Oh, that's not meant to be there."
Yeah.
What is that doing there? No, it's not too bad. But that car I have had that quite long now, but it's got loads of dents and stuff. Someone's keyed the car, but
Oh God.
my sister done it with a done the inside. She shut the what's it called? Oh, the seat belt. She trapped the seat belt in it, and then she dented it with a car seat. I was like, "So at home, just like do whatever. I keep smashing up my car." No. Okay. So what will change? And the last question is, what services should there be? I know we sort of have touched upon this question, but what other services?
Adult speech and language support, counsellors that have DLD training. I mentioned about PIP. I've mentioned about counsellors. When you go to a counsellor, they don't understand PIP. I mean DLD, and I just feel like counselling sometimes doesn't really help me. I just wish there was like counselling for people maybe with additional needs.
Yeah.
So it's easier. I don't know what way around it really, but I just don't ever find it that helpful, counselling. Yeah.
There is another. You went to another thing, if I'm allowed to say it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
You art.
Oh yeah, I do go to art group with Mind on a Monday. If I'm free. Didn't go this week, but yeah, I like that because you're all being sociable with each other, and
it's creative as well. You can just
it's therapeutic. Therapeutic.
That's what I would really want, and I would want to work on or try to get offered like a art therapy workshop or something like that for someone with DLD, or just like doing like an event. That's what I would really like to do.
Yeah.
These my ideas, the amount of ideas I have is good, but it's dangerous because I'm just like, there's so much I want to do, but I just need some help. I have no knowledge of what to do or how to do it. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for doing my little questions.
That's right.
Love getting to know you more. So next we're going to play some activities and games. Okay. What 4-letter word can be written forwards, backwards, upside down, and can still be read from left to right?
Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
It has to be forwards and backwards, and upside down.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, ooh! I thought you said who. I was like, I can't even think of what who smells. Who's Does it back how you say
That's not really a word, though, is it?
it? No.
Ooh, just as a sound, yeah.
Okay. I give up with that one.
Me too.
Your one is a good guess. Ooh is such a good one. There's the
Oh.
answer. Noon.
Oh,
If it's
good.
all capitals, yeah. Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of upside down.
Just capitals.
Yeah. But I like the ooh better. I might just give you a point. So you got 1 point. I got none. Okay. You live in a story house made entirely of red wood. What color would be the stairs? I'm really simple. I'm gonna say the answer that I think like.
Okay, I think I know. Right, you go first.
I was gonna say red because it's red wood.
Well, if it's a one story, they shouldn't have stairs, should they?
Did I just get that? What's the answer? Eyes confident. Okay,
I was surprised I got that actually.
yeah, okay, so I'm not good at riddles. That's gonna bug me later. I'm thinking, how did I not get that? But yeah, anyway. Right, next one. Quiz time.
Oh, good.
Questions. Oh. Okay. In which part of your body would you find something ligament? I can't. Oh. Okay. I forgot this is well.
Crucosate ligament. I don't know what that says, and I don't know what it means either.
No. I'm gonna say something really dumb. I'm gonna say you got loads of ligaments in your body, ain't you?
Yeah, I'd never heard of it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, so yeah. How many of Henry's wives were called Catherine? Did he have 8? Did he have 8
I don't.
wives or 6?
I was going to say. I don't know. I was going to say 3, but I don't know.
What 3 as in wives or 3 in
3 Catherines.
I always
I was.
forget the thing when people say the in what divorced, beheaded, killed.
Yeah.
That way.
I was never very good at history. I didn't really enjoy it, so
No.
yeah. I know he had lots of wives, but
yeah, I wouldn't know who. Oh, okay. Right. Next. Okay. In what US state is the city Nashville? Oh, I don't know what I have done with this PowerPoint, but there's 2 there then.
I don't have a clue. I'm not very good at geography either. I never heard of it, so
I just the general knowledge questions are not no.
I'm not very good at general knowledge, I'm afraid.
No. Okay. And I feel like I should know the name of the coffee shop in Friends, but
Name the coffee. Oh no, I don't know that because I never watched Friends.
haven't you?
No, I don't really watch telly because it's just hard to follow. So don't things like that anyway.
I was gonna say park, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And so the park calf, I don't know. How many times has England won the men's football World Cup?
I don't think they won it in the 70s. I think
Yeah.
they won it in the 50s. I don't know, twice. Don't know.
You say two, and I'm gonna say one. You're gonna say two. Okay.
Okay.
I think that might be it. Questions. Where's the answers? Oh, okay. The knee. Okay, so
Oh,
we didn't do the knee, so it's we didn't do the knee. We didn't answer
didn't
that.
say anything.
No. Oh, that's it. It's just done it on its own.
I got it right.
You got it free.
I can't believe that. That's just like a fluke.
Well done. Is it gonna play the rest? Tennessee. Okay, I didn't even know. Okay. Central Perk. I said park. No, that's not.
You're close.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You
Oh,
did.
once.
You said 1970s. I would say that's 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Early,
Yeah.
early 70s or late 60s.
60s.
Okay, so you have got that one as well. Is this really bad? I can't remember who got what. You got the
I got question number 2.
okay. No, I was thinking you got the riddles. You done the riddles. I didn't do the riddles. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, so as we all know, I have lost. I just know I have. And
What? You don't know.
So no, you have one. You done the riddles. Hang on, let's go back. We go back. Right. So you done the riddle? No. Okay.
I can't remember what the first riddle.
You
Oh,
said
but I didn't get that. I didn't get that because that's not a proper word, is it?
I would have classed that.
That's just a
Alright.
sound.
This one was you got this one. So you got the riddle one.
Yeah.
Then the quiz. Oh, we done the quiz. So this is it. So you just done. Oh, no, I didn't even get one. Who has one? I haven't even got one.
You're close to Park. Is that Perk or Park? Central Park.
Central Perk.
Perk.
No, and you got 3. You got the wives, and you was.
I think you should have the. I think you should have the Friends one.
Okay, well, that's still you still won.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but okay.
Okay, so self-care isn't selfish. Everyone should love themselves. It doesn't say that, but yeah. Okay, so this one, I know it's gonna look a bit funny, but I was gonna ask you for one main self-care thing that you do that we can put in the self-care box that I'm gonna
like a saying.
No, like it could be a saying, or it could be what you do. So it could be like walking the dogs, or it could be
I see.
something that makes
Yeah.
you feel good. So then we're going to put it in the self-care box. Then at the end, I'll be adding it in. But then at the end, I want to, from all the whoever recommends it, I'm going to make a put it in the calming strategy.
I did actually put on there dog walking with my doggy.
Yeah.
And then the kind of thing I like to say is treat people the way you would want to be treated. To treat that person like the way you want them to treat you back.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. There.
Yeah.
Okay, we recommended strategies, but so I just want you to recommend one key thing that you always use to help with your DLD. Then we're going to put it in the toolbox. Then hopefully once we got all collected, we can put it on the strategies.
Okay. So I use my iPhone to remind me of things.
Okay. So reminders.
Yeah.
Okay. To help with memory. Okay, I write that down, otherwise I forget. Okay, and then you can't really see it on this. It's meant to say word wool.
I can see it.
Oh, can you? Okay, on my recording it doesn't say it. So word wool. So I would like you to recommend a word for me to learn.
Oh,
My vocabulary is very limited, I would say, or basic.
mine too. So,
So I'll put you on the spot. I always say amazing. It's incredible, amazing, or I don't know, or one word that you know.
but what I think that you might not know.
Yeah, you could do, or just one for you, and we will learn it.
Okay. Oh, okay. That was phenomenal.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, yeah. That would not be how I would thought that would how you say it or spell it. Okay, so I will add the word on next time. So phenomenal means remarkable or exceptional. So in my head, the way I would describe that was something really positive. Then I would say the first sound is p. Then the syllable, phenomenal. But, yeah. Where would you find it? I don't know that kind of stuff. I don't know where you would find it. Where would you find it? What
What do you mean?
category? What category? It would be a describing word, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you did phenomenally when you passed your driving test.
Ooh, yeah. That's yes, you done the sentence. Yay. Okay, so we have modeled that, and that was the way I was doing that then was from the word aware approach. I recommend
Yeah.
that. So that's the idea about the vocabulary and the word wool, and then yeah, I will have to show the thing what I mean in my head next.
Okay.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
these are words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. I know you said about treat people the way you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
Would that still be your words
Yeah.
of wisdom? So I would add
Yeah.
that onto here, and then I'm gonna do the same, collect it all, and then sort of do a poster for it. That's my
Okay.
idea. So I would do that, and then
Brilliant.
okay. So today's podcast is sponsored by DLD. Why Can't You See Me book. I always thought some podcasts normally have stuff sponsored by, and obviously I don't know anyone. So I was like, why not just promote my book? That can be
Well
my
done.
first sponsor. And then the second episode, when I do that one, that can be the other book.
Yes.
Then if it's not, I'll be sponsored by I don't know.
Which I yet got to buy.
Oh, don't. If you send me your address, I'll send you a personal one.
That's very kind.
I like to give it away. Sorry. Well, I am going. I feel like my brain is ready to switch off now because
Yeah, mine's a bit frazzled now.
Yeah, I think. Oh, and it's saying we're running out of time. Okay. So I want to say a massive thank you for being my first podcast and putting up with my lovely podcasting interviewing skills, because I know that they were on point. And that's me trying to be sarcastic. I need to work on my what do I need to work on my presenting skills, that's the word. And yeah, and I think after this we'll both will have a lovely cup of tea and a lay down.
And thank you very much for inviting me to your podcast.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.